Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to talk all about how to desensitize your animals to flash in a studio environment. So basically, like I've just said, we are here at Jerry Green Dog Rescue to utilize their training barn, which is where we are right now. We are going to expose a dog to the studio environment and the lights specifically, and work through how you would introduce any animal to a studio situation safely. If you're new here, hi, I am Jess. I am a photographer person. I usually do portraits, and that's what we're kind of discussing today. If you want to see any of the other videos that we do, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. The bell icon will help you out because it'll give you a notification every single time I upload a video. I upload every single week, and sometimes more than that if I feel like it and if I have time. We're using a backdrop today by D Backdrop. I will include a link to that in the description below. And if you're wondering, we're also using a City 600 Pro strobe light along with one of the Pixar Pro modifiers and the Pixar Pro stand. If you're interested in those, again, they're just all going to be down in the description. So what I want to do basically is introduce a dog to this situation, and then we'll start working through it. When you have a dog in a studio situation, what I would definitely recommend doing is just walking with that dog around the interior of the location. So this dog's never been here before. We've got the backdrop set up, we've got the lights set up, we've got everything sorted. We're just going to let them get used to the environment. If you're comfortable letting them off lead, then let them off lead in that environment. We're just going to sort of walk this through. So the first things first, we're not adding any lights at all. We're just sort of getting them used to the interior of the location. So when you're happy that the animal's not concerned about anything in the location, then we can start to sort of go a bit closer to the backdrop, and you're wanting to basically go across it. So don't make them go sort of like straight towards it or straight back away from it. You just want to kind of just walk them around the location. Now there is something that smells really good on that floor. So I'm just going to let her investigate that until she's finished. Good girl. And just sort of let her get used to it. So I'm looking constantly for stress signs. So I'm looking for yawning, excessive panting. I'm looking for a tail tucked right underneath. So her tail is tucked a little bit at the moment. It's probably just because she's investigating this box of toys. Now she might want to go and select something from the box. And if she does, then that's fine. So we're just letting her go at her own pace and not rushing her. Bip, bip, this way. Good girl. So she's focusing and listening, which is all good. She's panting now, so she could be potentially a little bit of stress. So we'll just let her walk. She is quite a nervous dog in general, so she seems really happy to sort of move around the environment, which is fine. So when you're at this stage and your animal is absolutely fine with the internal environment without having any flash on or anything like that, and then what we can do essentially is start to build it up slowly. So for the next step, what you need is your trigger for your flash. Okay, so I'm just going to grab mine. So what you want to do is turn your flash trigger on, so your wireless flash trigger. So this is on now. It's not on the camera, but it can be on the camera if that's easier for you. You also need some rewards. So for most animals, food is usually a good one, but sometimes toys can be better. So I will show both options in this video. So let me put my treat pack on me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk Piper to the furthest possible location from that light, which is kind of over in this corner with the cleaning products actually. So what we're doing is basically we're going as far away as physically possible. I've not put the dog into the set. And then what I'm going to do is press the test button on the trigger, and that will fire the flash. So I need the dog to be focused a little bit, because the second the dog eats the snack, I'm going to pop the flash. Okay, so it's all to do with timing. So you put the treat down and the flash pops. Good girl. And then reward again. So same again, treat, flash, good girl, and reward again. Treat, flash, and reward again. So she's not quite sure what the pop is. Good girl, but she didn't look that time, which is really good. Good girl. So her ears are moving, but nothing else is really moving. So Piper, Piper. Good girl. So she's no longer bothered by the pop at this distance. So we'll move a little bit closer. Good girl. Pip, pip. Good girl. I'm moving a little bit closer now. And I'm facing the dog away from the flash. And we're moving closer and closer. Good girl. Pippi likes this game now. Good. And if you've got a paper backdrop, throw some treats over the backdrop as well, because the noise of the backdrop is quite concerning for a lot of dogs. So then what you would do is pop the flash and then reward. Good girl. And as you can see, she's not bothered in the slightest. If we have put her on here without doing the desensitization, she'd be worried right now. Sit. Wait. Good girl. Good girl. Wow, super. Okay. And that's how you desensitize any animal to flash using treats. If we had a toy, it'd be pretty much exactly the same, only every time we fed the treat, we would play with the toy. So pretty much exactly the same for both variations. And this works with all different types of animals, different species. And if food and toys aren't an option, just give them praise. You're a good girl, Pippi. Good girl. Let's shoot some headshots. If you have any questions about the topic of today's video, please do not hesitate to drop them down in the comments box below. I'm here to help, so if you have a question, fire it at me. And if not, I'll see you all again really, really, really soon.